Hello and welcome to the evip website. Here we'll talk a little bit about the evip programme. evip stands for Electronic Virtual Patients. Virtual patients are an important part of medical and healthcare education. They offer a realistic clinical scenario where the medical student can develop the clinical decision-making skills, from administering drugs and examining the consequences in real time to creating emergency scenarios in Second Life. These systems aren't book-based. We use the electronic medium to provide the student with learning experiences that you can't get from books. These include assessment, matching and scoring systems, making decisions and examining the consequences of those decisions, and creating virtual realities where the student can practice their skills. They can be relatively simple, linear virtual patients, or at the other end of the scale, they can embrace artificial intelligence and language recognition software. Virtual patients can also be adopted for different cultures, languages and educational levels, from undergraduates to those in continuing medical education. In short, they are an extremely valuable educational resource. However, creating virtual patients from scratch is expensive and time-consuming, which is where the evip programme comes in. evip is a 3-year collaborative programme funded by the European Union that aims to create a bank of 320 repurposed and enriched virtual patients that can be used throughout Europe. All of these virtual patients will be freely available in some form under a Creative Commons licence. Here, Terry Paulton and Chara Balasubramanian from St George's University London talk about the programme's background. So what was the rationale and the inspiration behind the evip project?
Well, I suppose it all kicked off in Amsterdam. We'd become interested in virtual patients, and it was clear from there were a number of publications, a number of presentations at AME that year on virtual patients from now the current partners in evip. And it was clear that virtual patients were extremely good tools for safe practice, for revision, for simply getting to learn medicine through a much more structured case-based learning. And I asked a number of the great and good of Europe, the virtual patient producers, if they'd be interested in joining in to create a bank of virtual patients. And the reason for creating a bank was really because of the high, at that stage, the high cost of creating each virtual patient. If we could share them, we would do much better in building up enough virtual patients to create a decent curriculum.
evip involves the work of 9 European universities from the UK, the Netherlands, Germany, Sweden, Poland and Romania. All the evip virtual patients will be repurposed and enriched so they are suitable for medical and healthcare students of all educational levels from different countries. In addition to language, the virtual patients also take into account different cultural factors such as geographic location, ethnicity and socio-economic status. There are many technical and legal hurdles to overcome, not only to make the virtual patients freely available under the Creative Commons licence, but also the methods for repurposing existing virtual patients. Can you tell me a little bit about the current stage of development of evip?
Well, currently we are just over a year and a half through the 3-year project life cycle. And I suppose there have been 4, as far as I can make out, 4 key areas around development. One has been around the technical standard and trying to refine an existing technical standard from Medbiquitous, but trying to adapt it for our needs. If you imagine 4 different virtual patient systems within the evip partnership, all wanting to share content within each other, a lot of work has gone into trying to create an application profile based on an XML standard to allow this content to be shared and made interoperable. So that's been a real success so far since the project since evip actually started. One of the other main goals of evip has obviously been around repurposing the content from one country to another and explore the issues around language and culture, as well as other educational levels and how virtual patients are used at different institutions within the curriculum. So that forms the bulk of the evip programme, and actually we are halfway through that. I guess another key area of work has been around the areas of tackling copyright and intellectual property rights issues. So one of the things that we've worked on as a group is actually trying to come up with a common consent form that works within our own jurisdictions from our own countries, but also within our institutions, so that partners feel safe in knowing that actually this content will be used in the right way, and no one is going to be liable to it, and it's safe for further use and repurposing by others outside of the partnership. So along with that, we've worked quite closely with the Creative Commons to actually try and adopt a suitable set of licenses, so that partners beyond the evip partnership, the wider community can benefit from these resources as well. Finally, one of the big areas of work that we're looking at the moment is around assessment and evaluation, and a number of fantastic tools have been developed, both online as well as paper versions of questionnaires, audit forms, of interview sheets, focus group exemplars, so that we can all use standardised instruments, evaluation instruments within our own institutions to evaluate how effective these repurposed virtual patients are. So I would say that those are probably the four key areas of work that we've done within this particular phase, and we expect obviously the next phase around how we disseminate our work using our website and how we interact with the audience in a multitude of different web formats, including different Web 2.0 formats.
For further information about the evip programme, please explore the evip website, and for news and updates you can follow us on Twitter on www.twitter.com/virtualpatients, or you can even join our Facebook group at www.facebook.com/virtualpatients.